I really enjoy watching Gordon Ramsay yell at people on YouTube because I live vicariously through him and his anger. I'm Jahzerah Cheng, and I go by Jazzy, Jazz, or anything you would like to call me. I grew up with my mom and my sister here in the United States, in South Pass actually, and my dad actually lives in Macau, all the way in Asia. He does a lot of working there, and that's why he can provide for us to stay here and provide for my education. My sister Team, name meaning sweet, she kind of is my second mom. Whenever my mom's out of town, she is my legal guardian. She takes care of me, and it's kind of nice having this other person that I can rely on. I am Cantonese, actually. I am Chinese, but I'm also Cantonese, which is very specific to Guangzhou and also Hong Kong and Macau. Hong Kong style food or Cantonese style food is really important to me. San Gabriel Valley is so great because you can get Beijing duck, and you can also get Szechuan food. You can get Hong Kong style food. The increasing numbers of choices allows me to kind of experience a little different part of China when I'm here, because even when I go back to China, I only really do experience that specific segment of Asia. So we're at Sweetheart Dessert House, and we are in Rosemead, along Valley Boulevard, and it's pretty tucked away. If you look really hard, it's there. But I picked this restaurant because it's the most similar in atmosphere as it is in Macau, which is where my dad and the rest of my family live. It's very lenao, or very boisterous and very lively in here, and I get to get a lot of the same foods that I get here as I do in Macau, which isn't very easily accessible to me because there isn't that much known Hong Kong places or Hong Kong restaurants I can go to. This is Mongo Saimalo, or mango pomelo sago sweet soup, and inside is fresh cut mangoes, a little bit of coconut milk on top, which isn't always there, but this one has it, and under there's pulp, there's citrus pulp, and there's also little tapioca pearls, which aren't the boba tapioca balls that we're used to. They're actually clear and they're kind of firmer, and it's a little crunchier. And this is actually one of my favorite dessert dishes, because whenever I'm in Macau, this is my go-to order. And actually in Macau, whenever I get this, there's a scoop of mango ice cream in it, and my brother would bring it home to me, and it's just very comforting. This is gai dan zai, or egg waffle, and it's very iconic, it's very recognizable. A lot of stores right now make them into waffle cones and serve ice cream in them, but traditionally in Hong Kong they just serve it like this. You can get them from street vendors and everything, so it's very street food, and it's kind of nice to be able to also get it here. So this is Fa Seng Lai Yao Do, and this is actually really sad because in Macau you actually get this. It's covered in batter before it's fried, and when you take it out, it's very crispy, and you have to cut into it, and it oozes out. But this is kind of just the sandwich. We see toast very often just as kind of sliced bread that we get to put jam and stuff on as a breakfast thing. But in Hong Kong or Macau, they've actually adapted it. There's brick toast. There's this type of toast situation that's a little prettier than this. But they fill it with ice cream, they fill it with fruit and stuff, and it's just kind of interesting how we've taken something American and made it into something new. I forgot what this is called, but this is Omanthus. These little brown flowers are Osmanthus flowers, and it's actually fermented Osmanthus. And the yellow that we see is egg, whipped egg that's poured into the soup when it's cooking, and there's black sesame, like mochi balls with sesame inside. Dessert in general can be passed through like generations. Like it's something you can enjoy with anyone. I never really was ashamed of my culture. If anything, it'd be like people telling me that it's a little too much. But like growing up, it's always been like, you speak Chinese in the house or I don't speak to you. In the absence of my family, I tried to bring my culture actually to my community. That's the vegetarian. This is the meat one.
No, but
Okay. Go ahead. And if you need help, like, and like when you're folding it, you want to try to like do like pleats so that it like sticks together. Like a couple of years ago, in sophomore year, one of my friends, Chira, moved to the U.S. and she went to South Pass High School, and it was Chinese New Year's was coming up, and we were like, why don't we just like have our little mini dumpling party? So her, my mom, and I, we all just like sat around a table, like kind of wrapping dumplings this year. And since my entire family is gone this year, I was like, what is a fun way to like celebrate Chinese New Year and like do something fun with friends, like especially as a senior, it's the last hurrah. And I was just like, we should do a dumpling party. Friends are a huge part of my life, as they are everyone else, but especially for me, I kind of like find comfort in them because I really only have my sister here. So they kind of act as my second family. A good portion of the people that actually came tonight, like I've never met in real life, and it's just opening your house up and like just taking that first step of inviting people in, like something as simple as just like a meal that can be shared with a bunch of people is like a very important thing that you need to understand me. Everyone is always included. Having the dumpling party, it was like a nice substitute for like me like not having my parents around, not having my family around, and I was able to share something so dear to me like with my friends and like teach them things that I learned how to do when I was a child.